Some people think electric cars are boring. They don't have roaring engines and, well, that's about it really. Anyway, Ford is here to prove electric car naysayers wrong with this, the Mach-E 1400 drift car. This one-off weapon has been designed by Ford Performance in conjunction with RTR, a mad company known for making deliciously evil versions of Ford vehicles. As the name suggests, the Mach-E 1400 is based on the controversially named Mach-E electric SUV. The reason why it has fans up in arms is because the Mach name was originally reserved for Mustangs, so to use it on an electric SUV was seen as sacrilege among some car lovers. Does the ridiculous 1400 drift machine make up for Ford using a classic Mustang name for its electric SUV? Well, let's find out with 5 things you need to know about the Mach-E 1400. But before we get into the list, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's cut to the chase. There's a reason the Mach-E 1400 is called the 1400, and yes, that reason is power. The Mach-E 1400 is rated at 1,400 brake horsepower, courtesy of 7 electric motors, 3 of which are attached to the front differential and the remaining 4 are placed at either end of the rear differential in what Ford describes as pancake style. The motors are connected to a 56.8 kilowatt-hour battery, which sits in the middle of the car underneath the cabin, keeping the vehicle's centre of gravity nice and low. An electronic brake booster is used for regenerative braking, and there's a hydraulic handbrake for maximum skidding. If you look at some of RTR's previous work, you'll notice that the firm tends to add a little Darth Vader-ness to every car that passes through its workshop in Torrance, California. The Mach-E is no exception, looking as though it's been driven through a pool of carbon fibre winglets and glue. But the changes don't stop there. At the back of the car is a giant rear wing matched only in size by that of a Pikes Peak car, and there's an enormous carbon fibre diffuser too. It looks like a cross between a DTM machine and a Paris-Dakar off-roader, which is fair to say, quite unlike anything we've seen before. Covering an SUV with wings is pretty hilarious given how unaerodynamic they are, and they tend to share more in common with a cruise liner than an F1 car. But the Mach-E 1400 is a serious piece of kit, developed by a team of expert engineers, so the winglets, spoilers and splitters all work together to generate a ton of downforce. No, really, Ford claims that the Mach-E will develop 1,000 kilograms of downforce at 160 miles per hour. To sprinkle in some context, a GT3 racing car generates the same amount of downforce, only at a slightly lower speed. Still, that's incredible given that the Mach-E 1400 is based on a 4-door SUV designed to ferry around 5 occupants in silence. In the world of motorsport, weight is the devil. That's why you'll only find the bare essentials inside a racing machine, such as a fire extinguisher, bucket seats, and a carbon fibre silhouette of a dashboard. That's exactly what you'll find inside the Mach-E 1400 too, but you'll also spot a massive touchscreen infotainment system in the centre of the dash. That's right, RTR left the Mach-E's 15.5-inch touchscreen in place because, well, we don't really know. Our best guess is that most of the Mach-E's functions are controlled through the screen, and given that it probably isn't very heavy, RTR thought it would be best to leave it in place. That means you could probably access your music while in it, but you won't be able to hear anything because the speakers would have been ripped out. The Mach-E 1400 may look like some mad concoction to make electric cars seem cool, and, well, it's done a pretty good job at that, but there's a lot more to the super EV than meets the eye. Ford claims that the Mach-E 1400 serves as a testbed for materials that may one day work their way onto production cars. The bonnet, for instance, is made of organic composite fibres, which act as a lighter alternative to traditional carbon fibre. The battery system is a little unorthodox too. The drift car uses nickel, manganese, cobalt pouch cells, as opposed to the more traditional lithium-ion packs you'll find in most of today's EVs. This, according to Ford, allows for greater performance and a higher discharge rate, which is exactly what you need when drifting a family SUV. If the Mach-E 1400 sounds like your kind of car, I'm afraid to say you're out of luck. It's a one-off, but if you live in America, you'll be able to see the car in action at a NASCAR race soon, though Ford has yet to reveal which event it wants to go to. For more motoring stories and epic deals on new cars, head over to YesAuto.com.